Hey guys, and what's up to the Con Kids podcast? Tonight's another movie review, and we are reviewing Chip and. Ooh,
Woo!
I'm Austin.
This Daniel.
Yep, and welcome to Con Kids.
Welcome.
Yeah, so let's just start off right at the bat. What'd you think of the movie?
It was pretty funny. Like I was not expecting it to have a whole lot of fun cameos and like all this. I thought it was very funny. It was pretty comedic. Like they're just breaking the fourth wall the whole movie. I was like, oh wow! I literally thought it was about to be about rescue, like Rangers. I thought it was gonna just be like Chip and Dale doing some CGI adventure, but it was something I've never seen before.
Yeah, yeah, no, it was cool. I definitely enjoyed it. Like after coming from Multiverse of Madness, where you're hoping to see all these like cameos that never happened, then going to Rescue Rangers, where it's cameo galore, like the entire
Yeah.
movie, while it's still having like a plot line and it's making fun of things like nonstop.
The whole time.
It was great. I loved it.
No, it was funny. I think one of my favorite moments is just like the ET versus Batman. I just thought that was so random and
Yeah.
weird, but it was funny.
Yeah, no, that was great. I think my favorite part is probably gonna be like when Seth Rogen's character of the Viking got knocked down,
Oh,
and then you had Pumbaa. It's like, what did you? And it's like, what are you looking at? And you got like Pumbaa sticking out, and then you got Mantis on the side, and
oh,
then you
that
got
was funny.
from
You're just
Monsters Inc.
popping out.
And they're all like doing the same laugh. I thought that was hysterical. Oh my goodness, it was
Yeah,
great.
that was good. That CGI or that Viking character was funny, like too. I like just like
Oh,
the
it's
fact
funny.
they said Polar Express eyes when they like first met him, and I was like, oh dang, they're just shaming him. They're shaming the animation style. But yeah, it was pretty hilarious.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
It's all good. So what did you think of Ugly Sonic? Because
Ugly
he
Sonic.
he kind of stole the show for me.
Oh, it was hysterical. I love how people love him now. Like he was persecuted.
Now he's got his own show, Ugly Sonic and Uglier Crimes.
Oh, it was so funny though. He's like, guess what? I got a TV show. And is it Chip or Dale, the one that got CGI surgery?
It was Dale. It was Dale.
Okay, yeah. Dale was like, wait, you got you?
You got a show, and then they kept focusing on his teeth.
Oh
That
yeah,
cracked me up every time. Like, why are we zooming into his teeth?
yeah, yeah. No, it's funny. Yeah, another funny moment is remember when they're going through like the Toontown or whatever, and it's like, oh wow,
Oh,
this is so happy and all this other stuff, and you get Dale who's like, nope, these all these horrible things about all this beautiful
all
stuff.
the yeah.
And then like they go to the cheese shop. It's like we're looking for some stinky cheese, and things go from super to like
Oh,
nuts.
you see his eyebrows lower slowly. I was like, what? You're looking for the cheese, kid?
Yeah, it was so funny.
Oh, it was so ridiculous.
Yeah, is there a favorite character?
Hmm. I kind of I kind of want to say ugly Sonic, but I like normal Sonic too much to say that. I think I would say no, I like the clay animation officer. The guy was so funny.
Yeah.
He just didn't care about anything. He was just like roasting people the whole
Hmm.
movie. Any serious moment, he would start roasting. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was hysterical when he was like, "Well, my mom's in the hospital." He's like, "I'm just kidding. I'm doing it for the money."
I'm doing it for the money, man. Come on. I was like,
Like, what do you think I am?
yeah, they had that intense, grueling fight. It just had the like he was choking out the officer with clay.
Oh yeah. No, I like Peter Pan a lot. Like a lot of people didn't like him. Like I know my grandpa who loves Peter Pan. Um, he was like, I don't like how they portrayed him. Like, I think it did great. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like it too much because it seemed a little too realistic to like the actual voice actor of Peter Pan, I guess
Mhm.
back in the day. But in the like, if that aside, not knowing that, I thought they did hysterical because
No,
it's like,
no, I kind of would like to agree that I was like kind of sad that they did a Peter Pan, but I think it was generally smart. Like it was comedically smart and everything. I was
yeah,
like, I loved Peter Pan so much. And like I wasn't even expecting to be in the movie, and they could just caught me off guard in that scene when they reveal him. I'm like, what Peter? What happened to you? Why has he got a gun? He's all hairy. Oh my gosh, you got like a three o'clock shadow and everything. I'm like, and no, the origin story was pretty funny too. Just like, oh, I was on top of the world, and then they kicked me out because it started getting old. I'm like,
oh yeah, I love how it's like the first thing everybody notices. Like when he's at the convention and runs into a lost boy, and they're like, "You got old." And it's like, oh. Like Will Arnett did a great job with that.
oh yeah, it was they did phenomenal. That was hilarious. I was cracking
Yeah,
up every time.
yeah, for sure. They had like an all-star cast of this too. Like they had what's his face? Andy Samberg as Dale. You had
Oh,
John
that was
Maloney
his
as Biff.
voice.
You got Will Arnett as Peter Pan, Seth Rogen as the Viking. I don't know any more off the top of my head, but
I
those
mean,
were the
that
big ones that
sounds
stick out.
pretty all star already, just by the ones you mentioned. Wow.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like the worst actor in it was the only human in it.
Oh yeah,
I felt like she was a little bit too much. I love you guys so much and all this other great stuff. I'm like, ugh.
yeah. I
It
like
was
when
a
I
little bit too
saw
much.
that. I saw it with my sister and my cousins, and they both disliked her performance. Like, and I was so surprised. I was like, "Oh snap, that's double dose." So now I'm hearing it from you, and I mean, I have to agree. Her performances and all that, believable. It's kind of funny. I mean, that's why I thought the clay fight was even more funny because it was just like her acting versus the clay monster was just hilarious to me. I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah. It's funny. It had like all those like kind of like scenes you'd see from like horror movies with all the melting man where like seeping through and you're like, ah, but he's like making jokes the entire time he's fighting.
Yeah. Mhm.
That was funny. So was there like a favorite scene, like sequence?
I think my favorite sequence was I think it's when they go to the convention. I think the second time they're like chasing Chip and Dale. So they just have like this whole they show the My Little Ponies, all that stuff. I think they show Indiana Jones, a couple other things. They had the Seth Rogen moment in there. I like that whole sequence of them just running away, and it's just cameo after cameo.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Personally, I just really love the part where they're like walking down the street and he's talking about all these horrible things about like while you're seeing all this great stuff like Phineas's mom and
Oh my god! Yeah, I was like, "What? Phineas's mom is here."
yeah, but I thought that was hysterical how they're like he's like it was just a great scene. It's like it's perfect, but it's not perfect. Like I
You
feel like I
know,
do that all the time with like my family. They're like, "Oh my goodness, that's such a sweet girl." I'm like, "She's actually really mean."
he's a horrible person acting like.
Yeah, actually she said no to me for prom. Let's not talk to
Uh,
me. But yeah.
yeah, I was also a pretty big fan of the when they're explaining the bootlegging
Oh
system.
yeah.
That was pretty funny too. I was just like, "Whoa, they're actually going with the bootleg," and but it was pretty funny how they did it. Just like having, oh, I forget his name, but the character from Little Mermaid, just showing how he was on top of the world, then the bears just took him and like bootlegged him, and now he's in
Yeah.
all these trash movies.
It's like you want this thingamabob?
With this thingamabob. Yeah, get over here, fish. I was like, oh,
Yeah. No, it was real like I thought that was hysterical. That was a great like bad guy scheme to do. Cause like
oh
just
yeah.
everything about it, like you could probably relate to like, man, that could really fit in nowadays with everything. But like I thought it was funny. Like everybody wants to make more sequels to all their stuff, but then are trying to avoid the bootlegs. It's like I'm desperate, but not that desperate.
Nah, no, not to go to the bootlegs. Goodness, that was hilarious. Just like
Yeah,
I'm ready for my Chippendale reboot.
yeah. So would you say this is a reboot or a sequel off the
Um,
original?
I think I'd call it a sequel,
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna have to
maybe it's
agree
a
with you.
reboot. I don't know. I would maybe it's a sequel, maybe or
Yeah,
no, maybe reboot. I'll go reboot. Final option reboot because they kind of sort of Chippendale got canceled in the movie, so now
yeah,
it feels like it's reemerging.
yeah. But as the poster says, and their words, it's not a reboot; it's a comeback.
That's way better than I would put it.
God, I sound like a dad.
Come back, baby.
I sound like a 4-year-old man who's like, "Oh my goodness, do you know who that character is? It's Gumby." What? I thought that was slime. Yeah. So what'd you think of all like the banter? Like, were you a fan of the banter? Do you think they could have done the banter in either like different ways? Like, because Chip and Dale kind of went back and forth a lot, or all the characters kind of made fun of each other in some way, shape, or form. Like, is there anything you wish they like mentioned or didn't mention, or like any changes
um,
you think?
um, honestly, I kind of like most of it. You know, I think it would have been funny to add because they mentioned Nick Jr. It would
They
have been
did.
funny if they just put like some Nick Jr. add-ins.
When did they have Nick Jr.?
When they were explaining the cop, like the cop's like failure backstory, I guess she's like, "Oh yeah, I was trying to figure out this whole situation. I thought I got the caper, but then I accidentally raided Nick Jr. And then it was just like, whoa, they had a whole shootout with Nick Jr. I
That's
forget
funny.
the character she mentioned, like blah 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 is never gonna have kids again. I was like, dang, wow. I think that would just been funny to just, I don't know, have like this super hardcore Nick Jr. character or something. Just angry.
Come
I
seek
guess,
revenge.
yeah, skin revenge or something. I think that would be pretty cool. But I don't know. Other than that, I think I liked it. Maybe adding some Disney princesses would have been kind of funny.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
that would be funny.
but I don't know. Wreck-It Ralph 2 kind of did gave that kind of some justice. I don't know. They kind of did the Disney princess thing, but I don't know.
Yeah.
What about you?
Honestly, one joke that I would have said personally, and I've said this, like I've thought this for a long time, I would have made fun for Dale and his Rudolph like nose.
Oh,
I would have made fun of that hardcore. I would have been like, "Lead us home, Rudolph."
no, yeah, that's a good one. They really should have, because that's like
Just stuff like that.
the biggest characteristic of him. No, I would have to
Hmm.
agree. I would really have to agree.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you think like this is the end of like the like Chip and Dale series that we're gonna see, like them reboot or make movies of, or do you think there might be more?
You know, I feel like they could do more. Like it was pretty funny, but I feel like it's one of those things that would be like cool to just pop up every now and then instead of making continuous. But I don't know because this movie was pretty hilarious. I honestly
Yeah,
would kind of want to know. I like once I finished the movie, I was all like, "Oh, can we give me like an extra hour of the movie just so I could see some more cameos and jokes, please? Like make
yeah,
it a
for sure.
3 hour movie instead." I mean, you probably shouldn't make a 3 hour Chip and Dale cameo movie, but it would have been funny. So I think they could, you know, I think they could do it. Um,
Yeah.
but
Honestly, I would love to see this, and like I know they're not like technically they're both owned by Disney, and it's probably unlikely that it'll ever happen. But I'd love to see Deadpool with Chip and Dale because they like both talk to the fourth wall.
oh, that would have been funny.
Like, or if they add that like in a Deadpool film where like if he crashes through the like a multiverse and he runs into like Toontown or whatever, and Chip and Dale's
Oh yeah.
like, look at this guy. It's like, and he's like, where am I?
Where am
And he
I?
makes
What is
make
what's
he,
going
he
on
cracks.
here?
I would love if they like start cracking jokes at him, and like start tearing him down. He gets really mad.
Oh no, that would be funny. They can like just make the whole next movie. It's like Dead. It's called like Chip and Dale Deadpool gets fired, and then that's just the whole premise. It's just what does Deadpool do after he gets fired from Marvel? What's his next big break? Trying to figure it
Yeah.
out with Chip and Dale. I would that would be funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be good. And then yeah. So how do you think this like did compared to all the other Disney Plus movies I've dropped? Because we've had like quite a few
Mhm.
movies drop. Like you've had Lady and the Tramp, you've had Raya the whatever and Last Dragon Hunter
Mhm.
or whatever. You've had the Red Panda movie.
Oh yeah,
Honestly,
Turning Red.
I saw the trailer. I'm not even gonna bother watching it. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Like it's okay. I can miss it.
Yeah. So
Oh
how do you
yeah.
think this one did compared to all those?
No. That's hard a little bit. Because I think Encanto was pretty good. Or
Oh
Encanto.
yeah, Kid was all
Hopefully I'm
right.
pronouncing it wrong. I did really like Luca.
Hmm.
That was kind of cool. But those are animated movies.
Well, I mean, those count.
Yeah. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I think this was pretty funny. Like if I would rate it, I think it would have been like I would have rated like a 7.
Where is it like rank like leaderboard wise?
I think because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been a huge fan of a lot of the movies. I was a fan of Turning Red, to be honest. I think I would have compared to the most recent movies I've seen, like I think Encanto and Luca, I think I would have put it like third on the list
Hmm. All right.
compared to those. Just because I'm like, I mean, because it was a pretty funny movie. I mean, I couldn't take any moment that was supposed to be serious. Which I mean, like I think that's kind of the point. I think it's just supposed to be funny, hilarious, and just all out goofy. But like it was like just crazy. I was like, man. Um, but yeah, I think I would do that. I think I would because I mean, I think that might be a biased thing. I just like when I watch this, like watch something, I kind of want to be like pulled into the story. So
Mm-hmm.
like I kind of was getting taken out because they kept breaking the third wall. So I couldn't really be like, oh, I'm in the world. I'm more like, oh, this is just too funny and hilarious. It was almost like watching a comedic, I don't know, like an SNL movie or something. But
Yeah.
I still liked it. What about you?
Honestly, I'm gonna rank this at the top. I think it was number one. I think it played on its strengths very well. Because like all the other ones, like they're too serious. And they're not as good as the regular movies that you used to see. Like Disney movies in my mind are kind of going downhill. Like you can't beat the original Toy Story and the original like all like Lilo and Stitch, and now you're getting like movies like Turning Red and Raya. It's like, no, let's go
Yeah,
back.
that's fair. That's fair.
But like this one, like you see the plot line and like they could have chose to be like super serious, but no, they're like, you know what? These characters are like, let's make it funny, let's make it a joke. So
Mm.
they like made the entire movie a joke. So like it matched my sense of humor perfectly because I love to razz people, and it was just constant razzing. It was hysterical. And like another thing too, my dad's weird. He doesn't laugh at anything. He's got problems. I don't even know what. He was laughing every like 2 minutes at the movie. I'm like, that's not normal.
Oh,
I'm like, I think that means it's good.
and that must mean it's good. You gotta laugh at your dad if he's really hard to take humor. Then that's
Oh, it's great. It's got me
something.
starting to like I'm starting to make those jokes around my house like in the past like 2 days since I've seen it. It
Yeah.
hasn't turned out well. Almost been grounded. But yeah,
Mhm. I mean, I have to agree because I mean they did do something totally different and took a pretty big risk. I think they were pretty successful in it, So I mean, I would consider it a pretty good movie. It wasn't like your classic, you know, Disney movie for sure. So I mean, I give 10 points for taking risks. Honestly, I like different.
yeah. So, was there like a funniest like joke or joke of something they made in the movie that you liked?
I think it was. I think it would have to be the Nick Jr. one. I just liked
You realize the Nick Jr. one.
the Nick Jr. was just because I mean I like jokes just about like I mean I'll be at school and we'll be making jokes about like oh you know Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is the best show ever when it's like a little kid show and I just like little kid show jokes just like you got Elmo and Elmo's I don't know a gangster like I don't know that's just funny to me. No, it was just like seeing that in the movie just these Nick Jr. characters that went pretty hard were involved in crime, beating up cops, getting raided. That was just too funny to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like personally, I love jokes where like it, again, like kind of like that one scene where it's like very like innocent looking, and you're in the kids movie, and then they drop something like super worldly and super like just adult movie ish. So
Mm-hmm.
something like, man, this house looks so great. That man's like, oh wait, I can't say that on here. Hey, that man is on the most wanted list. You're like, oh, where like you're super upbeat, and then you're just dropped to reality. I love those jokes, and like they're hysterical because they just had me dying laughing. I had a few in there. I just can't remember them. I gotta watch the movie again. But the best one I can remember again is probably the Gumby character, where
Mm-hmm.
it's like he goes on for a minute talking about his like, is it? It's either his daughter or his like wife. He's like, she's so sick. I need the money to afford her surgery, and he's like, they're like, oh, it's like, and he just breaks character. He's like, no, no, no,
Nah.
it's for the money. And then just that fight sequence where he's like, Gumby, Gumby, Gumby. It was so funny.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, is there any like questions you got?
Questions. I think the biggest question is if we're gonna get, I don't know, Ugly Sonic and Sonic 3 now.
I doubt it. Maybe.
No, no, I don't. You know, when I think that's probably pretty horrible, but I mean, I don't know. I just really like Ugly Sonic.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I have not seen Sonic 2 yet.
What? Oh my goodness. You gotta see it, bro.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's definitely on the list. I just have fun time.
I
Wait, what did you
am
say?
like, I'm a huge Sonic fan. Like, I am. I was like born a Sonic fan. I came out, the first character I saw was Sonic, and I was like, oh, I love this dude. You know, I mean, I don't want to get roasted too bad on the podcast, but I remember in elementary I used to dress up as him. Like I had a Sonic little wig. I kid you not, I dressed up like that at school. I was that
We are finding
obsessed.
that picture. We are finding that picture.
I hope there's no pictures.
I am texting Aaron, asking him. It's like, Aaron,
Oh
please.
no. I think that's in the secret files. Probably gonna have to burn it.
Oh, it's hysterical. One of these days, we're gonna have to wear like our embarrassing costumes on here.
If I can find the Sonic wig, I will wear it. I'll wear the Sonic wig if I can find it.
Might have to wear my Jack Sparrow hat that I wore for like four
Oh yeah,
Halloweens.
please do.
Johnny Depp. Yeah. Yeah. So is there any like closing remarks about the movie?
Closing remarks. You should go watch it. It's funny. It's a good family movie. If you need a break from the the normal movies, go watch Chip and Dale because it's not gonna be like anything you see.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this movie's totally original. Like you don't really see a lot like it, like in its genre. Like the only things could possibly even compare to is like a combination of like I don't know, Spider-Man, No Way Home, and kind of like Deadpool, but like the kid version where it's constant fourth wall breaking with cameos, and it's just a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just want something that's super lighthearted, this is perfect. I'll probably be watching this for years.
Get
So
something
yeah,
new out of it every time.
oh absolutely. There's so much in like you could watch it like 10 times and still find stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's it for our movie talk tonight. We'll be back here with eventually. I think we're doing an Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's coming up this weekend.
It is, and I'm excited. Now, Star
Yeah.
Wars,
So
wreck it. I'm
yes,
already there.
sir. Yeah. So we'll have our Obi-Wan podcast coming out before long, talking about episode 1 and number 2. We'll hopefully have 4 people. Let's see if
Yes,
we can get Jay
hopefully.
back on here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So sweet. Well, we're gonna head out. It's late.
Yes.
Yeah. So peace out.
Peace.